are you there? Where are you? Reply to me!
Oh, Stephanie. Long time no see.
Never mind, long time no see. What do you think you're doing turning down my wedding invitation? You mean you're not coming?
Huh?
I invited you to my lavish wedding because I felt bad for you being a pitiful reject with no friends. And you had the nerve to send it back with the not attending box ticked? What the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm busy that day.
It's my wedding day, for heaven's sake. You should be dropping all your plans and rushing at the chance to give me and my fiancé your blessing. Isn't that what best friends are for?
Best friends? Who?
Me and you, obviously. Did you forget all about how close we were in college? There was you living out your days on campus in introverted solitude with a life less exciting than a pile of rocks. When I, the queen of all extroverts, unparalleled in beauty and popularity, was so kind to shine a beam of hope on your tragic existence and became your friend.
You mean you just wanted me to hang out with you to make yourself look better? That hardly qualifies us as best friends. If anything, it just makes you a selfish narcissist. Anyway, Taylor is my best friend.
Huh? Taylor? You mean that filthy peasant with no parents who's so poor she couldn't even afford to buy lunch? That Taylor?
I'd prefer if you didn't talk about my friend that way.
Isn't it the truth, though? Lol. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to business. I want to give you the maid of honor speech at my wedding.
What?
Plus, you can sing and play piano, right? I heard you were pretty good. I want you to perform for everyone after your speech.
No, I made it very clear when I returned the invitation that I won't be attending. My schedule's full up.
Well, you should make room in it to attend your best friend's wedding.
Besides, why would you send me the invitation with less than a month to go until the ceremony? Even if I wanted to go, it'd be impossible on the timescale.
Well, make it possible then.
No, it's impossible because I have important business on that day I absolutely cannot get out of.
What? You mean there's something more important than my wedding?
That's exactly what I mean.
Go on then, what is it?
My boss's wedding.
Seriously? You'd miss your best friend's wedding to go to some random guy from work's wedding instead?
He's my boss, not some rando. And actually, he's a great guy who's always been there for me. I think it makes perfect sense to prioritize him over you.
Are you saying I wasn't there for you back in college? You probably wouldn't have even made it through without me.
The only thing I remember are your weird attempts to one-up me and put me down in front of everyone.
No.
Anyway, I can't help but feel that the only reason you sent me an invitation is because everyone else declined you. So you sent me one in an attempt to bolster the number, so that people who do attend don't realize everyone actually hates you. Sound accurate?
It's not like that at all.
I hit the bullseye, didn't I? I mean, come on, really? Best friends? Don't make me laugh. I'm done with this conversation. Good luck with your wedding.
I'm sorry to contact you out of the blue like this. Am I right in thinking this is Alice's number?
Maybe it is, but who's this?
It's a pleasure to meet you. My name's Richard Bigglesworth. I'm your best friend Stephanie's fiancé. I apologize again for contacting you so suddenly, but I found your number on Steph's phone.
I see. So, what could Stephanie's fiancé possibly want with me?
I'll just come straight out with it. Why don't you attend our wedding?
Huh?
Surely you should be there to give your best friend your blessing on the most important day of her life. She broke down in tears. She invited you because she wanted her closest friend to be there on the happiest day of her life. It's a day that only comes around once, you know. But she said you suddenly returned the invite with not attending checked.
I see. Like I told Stephanie, I have an urgent engagement on that day, so I can't come.
Yes, and I'm telling you that the way you've gone about this is just wrong. You've been downright inconsiderate and disrespectful, I tell you. Despite the fact you returned the invitation agreeing to give a speech and piano performance a whole 3 months ago. You have the nerve to pull out now all of a sudden, with less than a month left until the wedding day.
What? The invitation only came last week.
Excuse me?
Plus, I don't know if it was because she didn't know my address, but it was sent to my parents' house of all places. I immediately sent it back, making my intention not to attend crystal clear. And then Stephanie messaged me 2 days ago. She demanded that I attend no matter what, seemingly having no concern whatsoever for the fact that I already have plans of my own. That was also the first I'd heard of the speech and piano performance. Obviously, I told her that it was impossible to.
Wait, what? None of this makes sense.
It's exactly like I said. I didn't even know she was getting married until the invitation showed up at my parents' place last week.
Say what now? To think you call yourself a best friend. That's abhorrent.
Listen, Richard, you don't seem like a bad guy. So I'm going to explain this to you nicely. But me and Stephanie haven't spoke since college. It's been over 7 years. 7 years without so much as a single message exchanged between us. I haven't seen from her, heard from her, or even about her in all that time. Can you really call us best friends?
What? None of this adds up.
What's more, if I had to say one way or the other, far from being friends. I'd say we didn't actually get on that well at all.
Really? Forgive me for asking you this, but do you think there's any chance her sending you an invitation might have something to do with the fact so many people, particularly people she listed as close friends, are turning down the invites?
Are there really that many?
About 90% of the invites she sent were declined.
90%? Jeez. Does that mean, while being fully aware of the situation, you messaged me without harboring a single doubt as to why no one wants to associate with her?
You were listed number 1 as her closest friend, but she did say there was a chance you may have betrayed her.
Betrayed her? How?
Forgive me for dragging up the past here, Alice, but she told me the story of the time you and her were fighting over a certain boy in college. Eventually, that boy chose her over you, and they started dating. She explained how the two of you made peace a few days later, but she did say there was a hostile atmosphere for a little while because you were jealous. I did think that you holding a grudge against her for what happened back then made sense as a potential explanation for you not coming to the wedding.
If you want to hear my side of the story, it sounds like she's playing fast and loose with the facts of what actually happened to suit her ends and manipulate you.
I see. What exactly was Steph like during college?
I'd appreciate it if you went down that rabbit hole yourself. I hope you don't think I'm being rude, but I have no intention of talking at length about my personal affairs with someone I don't know.
I see. I understand. Sorry again for the inconvenience, and thank you for your time.
Alice, you scheming witch! What the hell did you say to him?
What do you want?
My fiancé broke off the engagement. You're behind this somehow. I know it. What did you do?
I see. Well, I wouldn't exactly go as far as saying I did something.
Why did he dump me then? Explain now! Your name was mentioned, Alice. I know you were involved. Don't think you're getting away with this.
Listen, Steph. Richard's the one who contacted me.
What? Why?
He messaged me out of the blue and started giving me a hard time about not being able to attend the wedding. All I did was explain my reasons why. I also set him straight on the facts that me and you aren't best friends, or even regular friends, or acquaintances. And that, in fact, I've never liked you. After that, I politely requested he did his own research and leave me alone.
What have you done? This is awful! Do you have any idea how much damage you've caused? You could have told a couple of white lies for me. What would have been the harm? Aren't we friends?
No. Do you have any idea how many people you made cry in my immediate surroundings back then?
What?
As far as I know, and I suspect there are probably more, firstly, there's my best friend Taylor, my little sister, 2 of my classmates from college, plus 1 freshman and 1 senior, and finally me. That makes a grand total of 7. Every single one of us had our boyfriends stolen by you. When you were on a particularly rotten streak, you had 2 or 3 guys on the go simultaneously. Not only that, you strutted around campus with your head held high, boasting of your accomplishments to anyone who'd listen, and relentlessly mocking your victims.
What was your favorite line again?
Oh yeah,
this is just how life is when you're as beautiful as me.
The fact that you've just had your engagement broken off 7 years later suggests to me that you probably haven't changed your ways since becoming an adult and entering society.
It's not my fault guys want me. If anything, it's their fault for not leaving me alone.
Were you born completely devoid of reason?
What?
I remember how you used to strut around flirting with other guys even when you knew they have girlfriends. Or how you'd welcome the advances of other guys even when you already had a boyfriend or boyfriends. The worst part was, you actually seemed to take pleasure in wrecking other couples' relationships. You seem to be lacking the bare minimum of reason required to exist in human society, Stephanie.
Don't be so mean.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that you totally deserve to get dumped by your fiancé and have the engagement broken off on this occasion. At the very least, you should use this as an opportunity to reflect on your life up until now and ask yourself why it might be that people consistently seem to want nothing to do with you. Goodbye. Richard messaged me again a couple of days later, apologizing profusely for the hassle his ex-fiancée had caused me. Our messages made him suspect her, and as well as keeping a close eye on her day-to-day movements, he conducted a thorough background check. When he did, he stumbled on an intricate web of lies involving several affairs, some of which he's still in the process of exposing. As things stand, his investigations have unearthed a whopping 3 secret lovers. On top of breaking the engagement, he not only took Stephanie to court for compensation, but all 3 of her lovers too. Obviously, the compensation also included the cost of the now cancelled wedding ceremony and honeymoon. It turns out their own wedding was intended to be quite the extravagant affair, the total cost amounting to somewhere in the region of an unbelievable $70,000, including the damages owed for the 3 affairs. She now owes over $76,000, and not being partially well off financially, is now desperately trying to claw her way out of self-induced debt hell. I don't know whether it's because she's super poor now, but my best friend Taylor said she saw her disappearing into a crowd of people the other day, wearing ripped clothes that looked like they hadn't been washed in weeks, and clutching some half-eaten bread crust like her life depended on it.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
Hey, Caroline, I got something important to talk to you about. Got time?
Yeah, sure. What's up, Ethan?
Caroline, what do you think about a relationship? I mean, going forward. Like, about marriage?
Huh? Marriage? Are you proposing?
Yeah, well, if you want to think of it as such, go ahead. What if I did propose right now? How would you take it? Would you be happy?
Of course! I would be overjoyed!
Okay, great! And if we did get married, and I asked you to quit your job, how would you respond?
Huh? Why do you want to know that?
Well, you see, I'm going back to my parents' place soon. You know that my folks run a small business, right?
Yeah, they run a small company or something. You did mention that as I recall.
Yes. Well, I'm gonna have to take over the company in the future. So, if we are to get married, I would prefer if you quit your job and come back home with me.
Hold on. That company, I thought your older brother Jonah was going to take over.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. But it seems Jonah eloped with some girl, and so I was left to take over the reins.
Can't you just decline? Do you want to take over the family business?
If I decline, there's nobody left to take over. At least not family. Ever since I was a kid, I was envious of my brother. It was always the one that my folks had in mind to take over someday. So, actually, I welcome it.
Well, at least you're not being forced into it. But quitting my job and moving into your folks' place, I don't know.
Not really that inclined, huh? Caroline, you don't want to really live with my folks?
No, it's not that. My current job, it's what I wanted to do for so long. I worked so hard to get this job. I really don't want to quit.
Yeah, I get it. Well, then that's that. Let's break up.
Huh? Break up? Like go our separate ways?
If you don't want to quit and come with me, there is no other option but to part ways, right? Okay, so I guess that's it.
Huh? Just like that? We've been going out for almost 6 years.
But you have no intention of coming with me. If you don't quit and come with me, how can we get married? No use bickering about it.
Yeah, I guess, but just the way you say it.
And also, if you won't go through with it, I have to inform everyone.
What do you mean everyone?
Yeah, I was back home last week. You remember. Well, when I was there, my folks introduced me to this local girl. Met her. She seemed nice.
Introduced you? Like a matchmaking thing? You went on a date with some girl? Isn't that, like, cheating?
Huh? No. It's not cheating. I'm not going out with her or anything. Just met and talked. That's all. All we did was have dinner a couple of times and, but she does seem to have taken a liking to me. Her family is serious about it too.
Are you serious? So if I refuse, you just switch to another girl. Is that it? I don't understand your logic, TBH. What am I? Like a substitute? A backup or something? That's really insulting.
I'm not insulting you. It's just that she's the daughter of one of our longtime customers. They are quite affluent and they would be a major asset to our company. Of course, that would mean I would also be pretty well off. My folks are adamant that I get married to her. But I had you, so I didn't quite know what I should do. And like you, she is very beautiful. There's nothing I can criticize her for.
Huh? Are you for real? You have a girlfriend and you go on a date? Comparing the two of us as if we're cattle or something. So, all these years, it was all just superficial. All outward appearance.
No, I didn't mean to sound that way. Did I piss you off? I'm really sorry.
You really have no idea, do you? Forget it. Do as you like. Let's just break up. You do whatever you have to do.
Seriously? Are you okay with it? I'm really sorry. And I'm sure you'll find a great guy, Caroline. I hope you find happiness.
Yeah. Thanks for the wonderful 6 years of nothing. Goodbye.
Hey, Caroline. It's been a while, huh? How are you? Can we talk? I can't believe everyone! You remember my brother that eloped, right? Well, he's back! My folks are planning to reinstate him as president of the company. Can you believe it? On top of that, he plans to move in with his wife and kids. So my folks want me to move out of the house and find a place of my own. I've been preparing all this time to eventually take over for my father, and was the one supporting the whole family. But once my brother shows his face here after all these years, it's all about him again. Don't you think it's pathetic? How could they? Hey, Caroline, are you there?
I'm at work now. I would appreciate it if you would stop with the non-stop trash talk. Talking to me like nothing happened between us. What is this anyway? Our relationship ended a long time ago.
Yeah, all true. Not my girlfriend anymore. I know. But you could listen a little to my grievances, right?
Huh? Why do I have to even listen to your grievances? Go to your folks or your wife, for God's sake.
Yeah, I know, but as I said, my folks are on my brother's side as usual. When I talk about moving out of the house, well, it seems my wife has been having an affair. She took the kid with her to her lover's place. That's why I'm stuck here at home. Really nowhere to go. They are set on making my brother the president of the company, so I'm no longer needed. Don't you think it's a horrible situation?
I really don't care, TBH. Why should I even care what goes on with your family or your personal affairs?
Yeah, that's why I contacted you. I'm thinking of getting a divorce. I realize that a rich girl is too headstrong, just not suitable for me. I plan to get a divorce, quit this job, and move back to the city. I don't want anything to do with my family anymore, at least on business matters.
Oh, really? Do what you want to do.
Caroline, do you want to get back together again? I mean, start over?
Huh?
My folks pushed me to get married, but I could not get you out of my mind. Caroline, I kept thinking I should have just rejected my parents' pleas to take over the company and get married to and get married to you. All this time, I regretted my decision. So, Caroline, let's get married.
I'm already married, and I got 2 kids.
Huh?
You seem to have it in your tiny little head that I've been single all these years. How many years do you think have passed since we broke up? I got married 4 years ago, and my kids are 3 and 1.
You can't be serious. But you said you'd be overjoyed to marry me. But you didn't wait for me? Why did you go and marry some other guy?
That was before you went back to your parents' place and got married. Besides, I can't believe you thought I would wait for you. Are you nuts? So you expected me to wait until you got divorced. What am I, your faithful little puppy? Wasn't it you who said I would find a nice guy? You do remember that, right, Ethan?
Yeah, I suppose I did, but you could have at least told me. I wasn't even invited to your wedding.
Oh yeah, right. Invite my ex-boyfriend to my wedding. Sounds wonderful. And besides, we're not friends.
But I was all set on making up with you. I was gonna dump my folks and my wife and kid and come back to you. Are you gonna stab me in the back too? What am I gonna do when my folks kick me out?
Don't ask me. And stop trying to blame me for everything. I have nothing to do with you anymore. And you want to know the truth? It's super annoying.
Why me? Why does this have to happen to me? That brother of mine comes whimpering back. My parents accept him without a second thought and kick me out. My stupid wife takes the kid and shacks up with her lover. And you, Caroline, you up and get married and have kids? This is a total shit show.
What's the use of blabbering about it here? I feel sorry for you that your folks forced you into this, but you just left all that stuff to the last minute. And the fact that you met a prospective bride without my knowledge and then switched over? Besides, you're the one who decided to go back home, marry and take over the family business. It's all your doing. So stop relying on others and get your shit together and do something about it. If you got qualms about your brother taking over the business, well, then just talk to your folks about it. Convince them. If you want to get divorced, take her to a court or whatever.
I couldn't do that.
Oh, so you can say whatever you like to me, but not to your folks? When you split up with me, you were pretty firm about your decision.
But I was young back then. I don't have that kind of energy anymore. And maybe my brother will just suddenly leave.
Okay, I've had enough. No use talking here. A complete waste of time. I'm busy. Gonna hang up. And I'm going to block you. I don't want anything to do with you anymore.
Huh? Why would you block me?
I'm not even your friend. I really don't have time to waste with an indecisive, wish-washy guy like you. You don't have second thoughts about dumping me. But when you get dumped, you get all panic-stricken. So lame. You're pathetic.
What do you mean by that? What did I do that was so wrong? What am I supposed to do now?
Work it out yourself, for God's sake. You're really getting on my nerves. I'll tell you one thing. I am so happy I did not marry a pathetic coward like you. Best decision of my life. See ya.
Please, hold on a second. Caroline!
I later heard that he stayed on at his parents' home, didn't even get divorced. He apparently decided to help his brother as one of the company employees. However, after his brother took over as president, he evidently accumulated a huge debt, embezzled company funds, and disappeared. As a result, Ethan got promoted to the president, but he was not able to cover the huge debt. The banks dropped him and employees quit one after the other. His wife asked for a divorce and even his parents gave up and took off. Ethan was on a sinking ship, ready to go under at any moment. I am sorry that his family used him like that. But it's his own fault. He was not forceful enough or confident enough in the way he handled everything. Oh well.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.